Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Warsword Conquest Chaos Crusade Let's Play. So, in the previous episode, we had been made a Chaos Lord by Archaon, who is the leader of the Chaos faction. And so we decided to accept because it would give us a fief, Holstein to be exact, where we would be able to, earn money from and stuff. And just because we were part of the Chaos faction didn't necessarily mean that we had to go along with them. Obviously, as long as we're not fighting against them, we can stay in their faction. But I can sort of go around, do whatever I want, and pick fights and, do whatever, conquer stuff. I don't know that I would necessarily be able to keep it, but I can conquer it. And maybe if Archaon's feeling particularly generous, he'll let me hang on to it. But anyways, yeah. So we joined the Chaos faction, and then immediately after we got our shit wrecked by a Kizilvite Lord, or a couple of them to be specific. And so our army is sort of broken at the moment. I've done a little bit of recruiting, but I ran into a group of foragers while I was headed to the Unholy Site to do a little bit more recruiting. And so I figured I would go ahead and cut in here for this episode, because I would like to fight this battle, and I figure if we're going to fight it, we may as well do it on camera. And, sort of get our mojo back after that butt whipping that we got. Also, I did promise you guys characters, or a character in this episode, I think, or at least soon. And I haven't had time to do the requisite modding in order to get one in. The process is a bit complicated if you guys don't know. The mod itself doesn't support custom characters, so I have to basically go into the mod files and edit them, and then create a new save and patch this save into that save to get this to work. And so it's a bit time consuming. It's not like a Clash of Kings where you just go into the camp menu and you can change stuff around. I have to actually edit the game files to get these guys in, so it's a bit harder, but it's a lot of fun, and we'll keep doing it. It's just I haven't had time to do it for this one. So in the next episode, I will try to get you guys 2 characters, and I have 2 in mind. So if you have been, working on your characters in the last few episodes, keep it up, because I will try to reward 2 of you in the next episode. And if you haven't, now would be a great time to start or submit your character if you haven't even done that yet. But anywho, let's get into some fighting here while we're running these guys down. I would just like to remind you to hit that like button if you are enjoying this playthrough so far and you'd like to see more Warsword Conquest, or just Warband in general. Feel free to pitch some other mods that you're interested in. And don't forget to subscribe as well. It's the best way to help the channel grow, and the best way to follow along with this series as it continues. So we're going to wipe these guys out, obviously. Oh, we only have 20 ready for battle. Apparently a lot of our guys are wounded. Whatever. 20 against 22, I'll take that odds. Frankly, if they're just foragers, I feel like I could take them all myself. Also, one big thing to mention is we did take a wound in the last episode, and so we only have a couple left before Toth here is done for good, and then we'll have to swap over to a different champion, not necessarily of Chaos, but we'll switch over to a new character and try to pick up conquering, the world of Warhammer from a different perspective. You guys are free to influence which faction that might be. I'm leaning a bit toward orcs, to be honest, but it doesn't have to be orcs. I just feel like that would be a lot of fun. Alright, let's come back around here and cut a couple of these guys down. Did I tell everybody to charge yet? I don't know if I did, and I did now. These guys don't stand a chance. They're just not heavily armed enough. Oh, one of our berserkers was killed. That's not good. Another was killed. What? The berserkers are supposed to be really good. I guess they don't have a lot of armor. Can't believe we lost 3 guys in this one. Come on. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna get this guy and then circle around for the others. Oh, somebody beat me to it. So that's the end of that. Alright, 3 dead. Wow, that's rough. 2 berserkers too. Those guys are pretty high tier units. Any of this even worth taking? I guess may as well. Can always dump it later if we find more valuable stuff. So let's see about some upgrades. It looks like just the tribesmen made it. How many range guys do I have? 6 here, 2 there, and 3 mounted. So that's 11. Give me 4 more, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll make the rest regular marauders. That works for me. I'll move you down, actually, try to keep you out of combat until you're a little bit higher level. Unfortunately, a lot of our companion characters are also wounded, and so they're not going to be seeing much combat as of late. Oh, also, I asked you guys about the banner, and you seem to like the one that I mentioned looked a bit like the Thousand Suns from Warhammer 40k, so I might switch to that one. I don't know if I can do that. The mod may not let me, but if we are able to, I'll go ahead and switch it, since you guys seem to enjoy that one. And frankly, I did too. I mean, I like the Thousand Suns. How did I miss that? If I were ever going to do like a Chaos tabletop army, it would probably be 1,000 Suns. Or maybe an offshoot of them. That might be kind of cool. I like the whole backstory of the 1,000 Suns, how they were never really... they never really wanted to betray the Emperor. That the Emperor didn't really give them a choice. I guess this isn't really the video for discussing Warhammer 40k lore, but since we're running around anyways, we may as well talk about something, right? So if you don't know, Magnus, who is the Primarch of the 1,000 Suns, basically tried to warn the Emperor through the warp that Horus was going to betray him. And so, in doing so, he had to use some sorcery and basically broke the... I can't remember what it's called, but the Emperor was working on something very big that had to do with the warp. And in warning him, Magnus broke it. And the Emperor was pissed. So he sent the Space Wolves, along with some of the Adeptus Custodes and some Sisters of Silence, to basically take Magnus prisoner. Who's this? Some Inquisitors? Let's get in on that. To take him prisoner. Oh, they destroyed my feet. Whatever, I couldn't do anything about it. And Magnus decided to not really do anything about it. Oh, they already won. So he was just kind of sitting back and letting Prospero, the planet that the 1,000 Suns had basically made their own. Which, it was like a total utopia too, especially for psychers and people interested in learning and education and just stuff like that. So this place is getting just like ransacked and burned by the Space Wolves. Everybody's getting slaughtered. Partly due to Horus himself, because when the Emperor sent word that the Space Wolves were to go, take Magnus prisoner, Horus sort of changed the message and told him being the Primarch of the Space Wolves to basically go slaughter these guys. And so, being Space Wolves, of course they did it, not even thinking about it. But the second in command of the 1,000 Suns, I don't remember his full name. It's something with an A, and his last name is Ahriman, so I'll just call him that. But he was a really powerful psyker as well. And in 40k, like now, post Horus Heresy, he's still one of the most powerful psychers. Probably the most powerful, well, one of the most powerful chaos sorcerers out there. So he was basically leading the defense of the 1,000 Suns, and they got, pretty much slaughtered. They fought really well, but you're not going to win against the entirety of the Space Wolves and the Adeptus Custodes and the Sisters of Silence and whatever else the Imperium threw at them, which it was pretty formidable. Let's head back this way. So yeah, they were getting just utterly slaughtered, and so Magnus, seeing all of his what do you call them, his Space Marines basically getting butchered, made a deal with Chaos, Tzeentch to be exact, to basically teleport the ones that were still alive out of there to one of his planets. and help them survive. And so they never really intended to betray the Emperor. The Emperor, through his like naivety or whatever, basically was the reason that they fell to chaos. And so in doing so, they basically started mutating, you know, from the warp. And so Ahriman, trying to get rid of these mutations, he basically did some sorcery. It's called like the rubric of Ahriman or something, and he essentially stopped the mutations, but in doing so he turned all of the non-psyker Thousand Sons into like dust, basically sealed inside their armor. So they were like soulless, basically husks that couldn't really think for themselves. They just followed directions. And so Magnus, being really upset about him doing that, banished him, and so he kind of went off and did his own thing. Let's move in to help the Realm of Chaos, obviously. Oh, this is gonna be a slaughter. So he kind of went off and did his own thing. And going back a little bit, I'm obviously a big fan of the Blood Ravens, as I'm sure many of you guys well know. But this is where the Blood Ravens come from, is when the Space Wolves went to attack Prospero and the Thousand Sons. Part of the Thousand Sons, the Corvidae cult, to be exact, which, you know, Corvidae means raven in Latin, or some derivative of that. But, I mean, like, hint, hint, right? So they were basically sent off to do whatever. And, God damn it. Come here. Come here, you. Oh, he's gone now. So anyways, you know, they were sent off to go do whatever it was that they were doing, or to survive, basically. And so, as the rest of the Thousand Sons are getting decimated, these guys were safely out in space somewhere. And it is believed that they eventually became the Blood Ravens. And so that's why, you know, the Blood Ravens' background is such a well-kept secret, is because they are loyalist descendants of the Thousand Sons. And if that were to get out, you know, it could really tarnish their reputation, because they're descendants from, you know, traitors and heretics. I love that the blood letters are the ones that thank you. Like, this bright red demon with his tongue sticking out. It's just like, hey, thanks for your help, pal. As if that's like a totally normal thing. Alright, so our army is more or less replenished. We do need a bit of food, but I think we're ready to get back on the warpath here. Unfortunately, we can't really... Oh man, that's not good. I could handle him, I can't handle this guy. Certainly not both at once. That's the problem about being out here, is you can really get hung out to dry sometimes. Oh, there's a couple of other Chaos Lords in the area, though. No, don't go after me. Oh god, no. Oh, how did we survive that? Let's see. Those foragers are getting slaughtered. Okay, what's gonna go down here? We'll try to jump in on something. Let's see, how nuts is this fight gonna get? I mean, I'll pile in on that. It's XP, right? So we're gonna help the Realm of Chaos, obviously. But yeah, so while this has never been confirmed, it's pretty much accepted at this point, because the Blood Ravens, if you read their lore at all, you know that they have a predisposition toward Psykers, which is something that the Thousand Sons also shared. They had a ton of Psykers, and one of the biggest clues to this is the fact that a lot of the Blood Ravens who become Psykers develop their psychic abilities after receiving their gene seed, meaning that the gene seed is, you know, contributing a lot of this psychic prowess. And Magnus, of course, is one of the most powerful Psykers ever. So, I mean, that's another huge hint. I can't remember the guy's name originally, but the leader of the little Corvidae cult that eventually became the Blood Ravens, or at least is assumed to, his name is very similar to Azariah Vidya, which is the name of the great father and founder of the Blood Ravens. So yeah, it's never explicitly stated, but there are so many hints that it's hard not to consider it basically canon at this point. I really like it though. I do like the overall backstory. I think it's really cool. And then the fact that the Blood Ravens are like obsessed with knowledge because of this, I think is really cool. Do I need a Zealot? I'm gonna skip the Zealot. I'll take the Demonette. And the Berserker, obviously. We'll get rid of one of these tribesmen and take on the Marauder Hunter. And let's see. I'll take 2 more Marauders there. Okay, that looks good to me. I don't know if Zealots are any good. I assume that they're not, because typically Zealots are cannon fodder in all of the lore, and I assume that that's the case here. The Marauders can actually level up. I don't know that these guys necessarily can. You know what? We can actually look. If we release one, we can take him on. No, they're just Zealots. 4 dinars a week. Probably not very good. So we'll take our tribesmen back. And we got a Santa hat and a shield. Okay. I wish that was a bigger battle with more enemies. I'd love some XP. It's one of the downsides to this mod is all the companions that you can hire, they start at level 1. So all of your characters that are coming in are actually starting at level 1, and I'll artificially raise their XP a little bit to make their stats fit what you guys are describing them as, or at least sort of getting them started in that direction. But yeah, they start out really, really weak. Weaker than like the player even. And so obviously I've got to put a lot of effort into leveling them up, and any XP we can get to that end will really, really help. I like how this turned into like a Warhammer 40k video though, even though it's Warhammer Fantasy. I don't know. Warhammer Fantasy is cool, but to me it's just not the same as 40k. Like I like fantasy, it's interesting, but I don't really go out of my way to follow it. Warhammer 40k I am like borderline obsessed with, and I definitely go out of my way to like read about stuff and follow it. So I think that's the case for a lot of people actually, because I know that 40k is really popular and one of the bigger money makers for Games Workshop. And so I think that's probably true of a lot of people. But yeah, I do find fantasy interesting. I particularly like the dwarves myself. As you guys well know from, well, you might not know if you didn't follow it, but from our Total War Warhammer Let's Plays, I really do like the dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy, but the Empire is pretty cool too. Although I don't find it nearly as interesting as the Imperium in 40k, because the Imperium in 40k is just like so messed up for so many different reasons. And like, you're rooting for them because they're the humans and they're trying to survive, but at the same time the Imperium is just like so backwards and in a lot of ways evil. But at the same time, like, they're the least evil of all of the various factions in 40k. I mean, the Eldar, shit, I don't remember his name. Report to Lord Venedistel. Or Vendistel. Where the hell was he? Salzenmund. Where's that? I guess I'll have to use this. Where are you? Salzenmund. I don't see it. Oh, is it Castle Salzenmund? Did I completely omit a word there? Yeah, I did. Okay, so show me on the map. Oh, forget that. You want me to ride all the way out there? That's pretty risky, man. I mean, I'm down for a siege, but for me to get there without getting utterly destroyed by Kislev or the Empire is slim at best. We'll try it, though. I'm interested. I guess I'll see you guys when we get there, but yeah, I'm definitely down for a siege, especially with, shit. I mean, we could probably win that. Probably is not right. We might be able to win that. Because he's only got 12. So 72 against my 78. But this, I mean, this is not a strong 78. Half of my army is tribesmen. Let's retreat and see if any Chaos Lords will back us up. Hey you, come here. Don't run that way. Help me. I mean, even just taking the 60 on would be better. One less Brother Bear Ranger to take us out. Those guys are absolute beasts. I can't believe how strong that they are. I would wager that they're probably stronger than any of the Chaos Knights that we have. Even the Chosen, maybe. I haven't seen the Chosen do nearly as much damage as some of those bear guys. Let's see. Is it just you? Honestly, if it's just them, I'll take them on. Okay, so here we go. We'll go ahead and lead our troops. So yeah, 78 against 60. But keeping in mind that 29 of our guys are basically worthless. But hey, if they survive, then they will have earned their promotion and hopefully no longer be worthless. So let's see, ranged guys up on this hill. Infantry, I guess, here. Vanguard in front of them. You know what? Infantry go, Vanguard go. Try to tar pit these cavalry. The thing I'm noticing is if you can play defense, it's worth it to do it, because if you get their cavalry way out in front of their army, they're a lot less effective, obviously. Give him a little bit of a stab. Okay, everybody feel free to run around and cause trouble. I'll do my best to kind of slow these guys down. Ouch. I got him, nice. I kind of want my own bear, but at the same time, I feel like I might look ridiculous because they're smaller than the Chaos War horses, and I'm already kind of too big for this horse. Why can't I hit anything? Damn it. Come on. Chop him up, chop him up. But yeah, I feel like I would already, I already look a little bit too big for this horse. And on something smaller like a bear, I think it's just going to look ridiculous. But the bears are so durable. Like, you've seen me try to take them out. They just do not go down. The horses, I mean, this horse is pretty durable, but it's nothing compared to those bears. Come here so I can hack you up. Oh, I almost chained that one. There we go. Would have looked way cooler if I hit him the first time. Okay, well, you guys got him. Let's get this guy. Cool. And that's the last kill. Okay, so that was actually a pretty easy battle. Yeah, if you can pull the cavalry away from the rest of their army, you can deal with them pretty easily. We still did take a lot of losses there. Luckily, 5 of the 7 deaths were, you know, really low-tier units, but 2 veterans kind of hurts. At least it wasn't champions. We did take a Czechist recruit prisoner, and it looks like just about everybody leveled up. Wow, okay. Give me veterans. Give me veteran hunters. I don't think I'm going to advance these guys any further. I don't like the mounted hunters. Just not a fan. Okay, so berserkers. That gives me 2 warriors of corn for a grand total of 3. So, give me... Give me 1 more berserker and then make the rest champions. And let's see. Give me some undivided warriors. That works. Now then, how many hunters do I have? I have 5 vets plus 2 regular ones for a grand total of 7, plus 5 mounted ones. I'm not going to count them anymore though, so we're just going to call it 7. and then I think we'll want 8 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the rest can be regular Marauders. Okay. You know what? No, you're kind of squishy. You'll be at the bottom. Cool. And wow, did we get a lot of loot there. Bunch of pistols and stuff. We'll have to see if anybody can make use of those. Can I wear that? No. Such a shame. We could be like Santa Chaos. Okay. I believe we are out of time for the day, or at least very close. Let's take care of whatever level ups we just got here. Oh, nice. Another Cornate Knight. How many is that? We have 2 plus 2 warriors and 1 berserker. Yeah, give me another champion. I want like 5 corn and the rest undivided. Maybe a couple Nurgle here and there. We'll see. Do I have any more of the... No, all the Chaos Pit Fighters were killed. I don't think they're very good. We'll leave them alone. Right. So, at a time, gonna break off the episode here. Between episodes, I will attempt to head down to Castle Salzenmund and join the siege if it's still going on by the time we get there, because I would love to take part in that. And I will hopefully be able to, again, add those characters in as well. Again, I'm going to shoot for 2 of them. So keep those backstories coming and keep advancing the stories that you've already got. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Warsword Conquest with you and talking about some 40k lore, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next episode.